Hi folks, another video here, and as promised earlier, this is going to be a level 4 mission. So we're in a Sisters of Eve station, and we're in our level 4 Dominix Sentry Sniping Fit, and I went through that fit in an earlier video. So let's see what mission comes up. So request mission. It's an anomic agent, so we're going to ignore those because they're more frigate or cruiser based. So decline. And you can decline those missions without it affecting your standing as well. So we'll request another one. Attack of the drones. So I know that that's not particularly demanding mission, but we'll give it a go anyway. So we'll accept that one. So undock. How busy is Apanaki this morning? No, it's quite quiet. Probably the time of day. Warping to the encounter, we put on our omnidirectional tracking link and our sensor booster. Off we go. I've got quite a nice overlay. So for PvE stuff, put it on the PvE tab. Also on the PvE tab, I've got it so that I can pick up any other activity in the area as well on the directional scanner. So I can see that there's a Raven Navy issue, Dominix, and a Legion. Plenty of mobile depots out and about today. So we do that so that I could see that there's no gankers heading our way. By turning that down to 1 AU, we know that there's nothing in our locality. At the moment I'm not seeing any drones. I think they turn up after a delay, a slight delay. So for drones I tend to use EM damage, so Sentry EM, here they come. Out come the EM drones. They're quite close, 22, 25, 26, 28 kilometers. We'll see if we can blitz them at that range. Obviously at that range the tracking the sentries isn't that particularly good. Tracking on EM curators though is quite good, so it should be able to get them. Yep. So that's hitting quite nicely. Just working our way through. And then I tend to try and get the smaller frigates and the destroyers first, because obviously they close more quickly, and because their signature radius is a lot smaller, they're harder to hit the closer they get. Out goes our mobile tractor beam as well, so that can start collecting loot as we're missioning in a way. Right, so we've got a couple of drones that have closed on us, so this demonstrates the principle of the fit. So we're going to micro jump drive out. You see we're taking a lot of damage now. So we micro jump drive out, stop the ship because we're 100 kilometers away, align back to the mobile tractor unit, drop sentries again and stop, hit those frigates at range. There we go, and we can repeat that same process after the cooldown of the large micro jump drive, about 3 minutes. So let's start hitting the cruisers and the destroyers. Bringing our buffer back up. On the previous video where I went over the fit for this dummy, I didn't touch on the salvaging capability as well. So what we do, we drop the mobile tractor unit as soon as we land on grid. Then as we're working our way through the mission, the tractor unit is picking up the salvage. And I've got 2 Tech 2 salvagers on this ship, so that once we've finished fighting off the rats, we can make our way back to the mobile tractor unit and we can salvage and scoop up all of the loot. Now we've almost built our buffer back up. I'm still taking some damage though. We're taking it from the Albert's ruler. Yeah, they're getting closer, the battleships. So that's all of the frigates and all of the cruisers done. See, another advantage of this ship is that you can literally blitz the whole area. You don't have to worry about setting off aggro for the whole room, because you can take it. I kind of think EM damage is the best for the rogue drones. I tried to do some research online, but it's not that clear. And so through experimentation, I guess I've come to the conclusion that EM's probably best. But if you guys know different, then please let me know. So we are taking a fair bit of damage now. We're wearing down our capacitor. The advantage with a micro jump drive as well is in none of the PvE rats will warp scramble. They'll only ever warp disrupt. And the micro jump drive will work even when warp disrupted. If you're scrambled, it won't work, but for PvE that doesn't matter. So you're always going to be able to escape. There's no excuse for losing a PvE ship, really. So we're just letting the buffer take the damage at the moment to build our capacitor back up. I'm enjoying my coffee. It's quite early in the morning for me, it's about 6 o'clock. So these are worth a fair chunk. 768. 768, what are the Supremes? 712. So we should get some nice bounty for this mission. Start wrapping back up again. I tend to go wipe out the frigates, wipe out the cruisers, and slowly work through everything that's closest to me. It's a well-balanced ship, because you'll see that we are blapping quite quickly through the mission, and at the same time we don't have to worry about changing out ships. We don't have to worry about ammunition. We are tanking, but not over tanking. We've got the ability to salvage if we want to. And I think it's worth salvaging. With the up and coming Citadel expansion, there's a lot of talk within the community about mineral prices and salvage prices going up. So I have been tending to salvage as I go through some of these missions. I changed this fit just recently and added the capacitor battery, because what I was finding was I was running out of capacitor to run the active tank, and the changes to those new capacitor batteries have made a big difference. So we can run this active wrapper for quite some time. And now we're getting into the region where we've got maximum capacitor regeneration. So when it gets down to about this level, it's a bit like shields. It's when it starts generating capacitor more quickly. So we want to be careful not to go beyond that level, because then it very quickly drops off. So let's stop the repper there, so that it's generating maximum capacitor. And we're tanking this quite nicely now. I got my drones set up on hotkeys. Can't recommend that enough if you're a drone pilot. So I've got E for engage, R for return to drone bay, and also targeting. So I can press a key. I've got my space bar set up. I press the space bar, click on something, and it starts targeting straight away. And through those 3 keys, it's ideal. There, done. So that was only a few minutes. That was attack of the drones. We're going to get 1.8 million out of it. 4,820 loyalty points. It's probably worth about one and a half. So it's probably worth about 6 or 7 million in ISK. I'm going to take you back to our mobile depot. Sorry, our mobile tractor unit, because I'm going to show you how quickly we can actually salvage in the ship as well. A lot of you could choose not to, but I think at this particular point in time it's well worth doing. Probably not for drones, because you don't get the loot. You never get any loot with drones. You only ever get wrecks. But I'll show you it anyway, just to show you the power of Tech 2 salvages. So here we go. locking up all those wrecks, I've switched to my drones and salvage tab. Salvage is on. Notice I'm heading away. Got to watch that micro jump drive because it jumps you, but when you've jumped, you carry on at the same speed, and you can quite easily wander off. So repping back up as well. The value of this salvage isn't that great for rogue drones, but I'm just demonstrating the fit really. So if I go over the fit again, but hopefully I did that in more detail in a previous video. The whole fit is based around sniping at a distance. To get the distance, we have our drone link augmenters, we have tracking links, we have sensor boosters, ionic field projectors to basically get a targeting range and allow the sentries to hit out to that range. We have a buffer tank, Tech 2 1600 plate, adaptive nano, and then we have active tank as well to help bring the buffer back up. But that was covered in much more detail in a previous video. I recommend you watch that video as well. In my cargo hold, I keep a medium cargo for expensive loot that is in the wrecks, and I keep one for salvage as well. So that gives us 390 meters cubed of space. That one gives us 120 meters cubed of space, and in Doctor Who fashion it only takes up 425 meters cubed of space. So it's a nice way of sorting out cargo space in your cargo hold. So quite easily already, I mean, the loot from drones is useless, to be honest. So 8,000 ISK. On some of the other missions, you can earn more money in loot and salvage than the actual payout and the loyalty points. So it is worth doing. It does slow you down though. Another method that I've got is I run 2 accounts at the same time. So I'll have, for missions, I'll have my main player doing the mission in the Domi, and then I'll have another player in a dedicated salvage vessel, and I've got a very good dedicated salvage vessel fit that I'll be running through at some other time in a different video. The type of mobile tractor unit that I'm using here is the pack rat. It speeds things up. If you look at the different variations and compare them, here we go. So those are the 3 different types of tractor units. If we look at the velocity, it's 25% faster than the mobile tractor unit. The Magpie is even faster, 50%. But the price tag of a Magpie is ridiculous. Well, there's one there for 480 million. I know they're a lot cheaper in places like Dodixie and Jita. The pack rat 32 million, down to the usual mobile. Well, even that's a ridiculous price, 9 million. So for 3 times the price, it's worth getting if you're doing a lot of salvage. I'm a bit wary though, because if what you tend to get in these level 4 mission areas are gankers who look for shiny fits, and so the pack rat mobile might attract gankers because they know that you're more shiny about your missioning. So that's why I always keep an eye on. I wasn't during this mission, but I tend to keep an eye on D-scan to see who's in system, whether there's any combat scanners, combat probes, trying to scan down the mobile tractor unit and whether they're getting close. So I keep it to 1 AU so you can see whether there's anything close by, particularly combat scanners, and you can watch the combat scanners slowly getting closer to you by going 5 AU, 1 AU. So that's an unusual ship to have in system, and Astero, because it's mainly a level 4 area. So an Astero may be combat probing down the system, but I don't see any combat probes on scan. Sorry guys, this bit of the video is a little bit dull, but I just wanted to show you how quickly you can actually get through salvaging at the same time, although the salvage in this particular instance isn't worth a lot of cash. So that's just with a couple of Tech 2 salvages. Scoop to cargo hold. Let's get our mobile tractor unit back in. So completely salvaged and done fairly quickly. Oh. There, completely done. So now we head back to the Sisters of Eve. We haven't taken any damage on our drones. It's cost us nothing because we're using drones. Big bonus of drones is they require no ammunition. So what I say, this fit is it's a no thinking fit, no maintenance. You could do any mission in a reasonable amount of time at little risk. You can salvage at the same time. Gives you an awful lot of flexibility. Almost finished my coffee. Raven Navy issue and local and an Ares. Docking up. Gas cloud. Okay. Let's complete our mission. And we're done. Thanks guys. I'll probably do a few more of these level 4 Domi missions and post them on the site. Thanks for watching.